On September 4th, 2024, Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia, turned into a battlefield of horror. The hallways echoed with gunshots as a bloody massacre unfolded, leaving 4 people murdered and 9 others wounded. The culprit, a 14-year-old freshman named Colt Gray. As details emerged, the tale became even more horrifying. How could this young boy have committed such a gruesome act? What happened that morning to push him to murder? Let's break down the chilling events leading to this tragic day. The first signs of danger came before the gunfire. Just hours before the bloodbath, a chilling phone call was made to Apalachee High School, warning that a series of shootings would take place across 5 Georgia schools, and Apalachee was to be the first. Panic spread among school officials, but despite their swift response, they couldn't prevent the slaughter. By the time they realized what was happening, it was already too late. The clock struck 10:20 a.m. when Colt Gray, armed with a deadly AR platform rifle, stormed into the school. Just minutes before, he had been sitting quietly in his algebra class. Without a restroom pass, he left the room abruptly, a move that seemed unusual but didn't raise immediate alarm. Who could have predicted what was about to unfold next? Within moments, the once calm school was plunged into chaos. Gunfire erupted, leaving 2 teachers and 2 students murdered and 9 others injured. It was a scene of utter carnage. Fortunately, the school's resource officer acted quickly, preventing the massacre from escalating further. When confronted, Colt Gray surrendered without a fight, averting what could have been a deadly shootout with law enforcement. The aftermath was pandemonium. Police swarmed the campus. Frantic parents searched for their children, and the entire community was left in shock, grappling with the horrific reality that had just unfolded. But who was Colt Gray? How could a mere 14-year-old freshman become a cold-blooded killer? His classmates described him as quiet, someone who often skipped classes and kept to himself. He was not a troublemaker, nor did he stand out in any remarkable way. Yet, underneath this unassuming facade, a storm had been brewing. A storm that no one had noticed until it was too late. The signs had been there all along. In 2023, the FBI had investigated Gray after he made alarming threats online through Discord, a platform widely used by gamers. His username was connected to disturbing references to Adam Lanza, the infamous Sandy Hook Elementary School shooter. The FBI took these threats seriously, but after interviewing Colt and his father, Colin Gray, they closed the investigation. Colt's father assured them that his son did not have access to firearms, and so the danger was dismissed. But this was far from the end of Colt Gray's dark path. By August 2024, his family members, including his maternal aunt and grandmother, voiced serious concerns about his mental state. They reported that Colt had been having suicidal and homicidal thoughts, and they feared he might act on them. Therapy sessions were arranged, but due to delays, he never received the help he so desperately needed. The situation grew increasingly tense. On the morning of the shooting, Colt's mother called the school, desperately urging the administrators to find her son immediately. She sensed that something was terribly wrong. Yet a mix-up with another student's name meant that Colt wasn't found in time to stop the tragedy. The aftermath of this brutal attack left the community scarred. 4 innocent lives were stolen, and countless others were changed forever. These victims were more than just names. They were beloved students and dedicated teachers, each with a bright future ahead of them. The families of the slain are now left to mourn, haunted by the senselessness of this act of violence. Among the first victims was 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn. Mason, who had autism, was known for his kindness and gentle demeanor. His family desperately tried to contact him when the news of the shooting broke, but their worst fears were confirmed when they learned he had been murdered. Kristen Angolo, also 14, was another student killed in the attack. She was a bright, cheerful young girl, always with a smile on her face. Her untimely death has left a gaping hole in the hearts of her friends and family, a void that words cannot fill. The tragedy didn't spare the educators. Christina Emery, a longtime teacher at Apalachee, was gunned down in the line of duty. Christina had spent years nurturing and inspiring her students. Her murder has left both her colleagues and students devastated. She wasn't just a teacher. She was a passionate, caring mentor who dedicated her life to education. Richard Aspinwall, another teacher, met his end trying to shield his students. Known for his love of teaching and his deep commitment to his students' success, he died a hero. His final moments were spent protecting those in his care, a testament to his bravery and dedication. 9 others were injured during the onslaught, including special education teacher David Phoenix. Shot twice, once in the foot and once in the hip, he underwent surgery. Thankfully, he survived, but his journey to recovery, both physically and emotionally, will be long and difficult. As the investigation unfolded, authorities scrambled to piece together the events leading up to this horrific day. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, and the FBI dove deep into Gray's background, searching for answers. What drove this young boy to such extreme violence? No clear motive has been established. Gray had no known connection to his victims, making this senseless massacre even more baffling. Why did he target these specific individuals? Was it an impulsive act, or was there a darker, premeditated plan? These haunting questions linger, leaving a community grasping for answers. What is clear is that Colt Gray will face the full weight of the law. He is being charged with multiple counts of felony murder and aggravated assault. Given the severity of his crimes, he will be tried as an adult. This decision was made quickly, reflecting the gravity of the situation and the devastating loss of life. But the tragedy does not end with Colt. His father, Colin Gray, is also facing charges. Colin has been charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children.
Investigators discovered that he had allowed Colt access to firearms, despite being fully aware of his mental health struggles and the previous FBI investigation. This legal approach marks a significant shift in holding parents accountable when their children commit acts of violence. This school massacre has reignited the fierce debate over gun control in Georgia and across the United States. Politicians, activists, and community leaders have all voiced their opinions, with many calling for stricter gun laws and improved mental health resources for young people. The focus on gun safety, particularly the issue of minors having access to firearms, has become a national conversation once again. Governor Brian Kemp offered his condolences to the victims' families, urging Georgians to unite in the face of this tragedy. President Joe Biden also addressed the incident, emphasizing the urgent need for stronger gun control measures to prevent such horrors from repeating. The White House reiterated its commitment to working with federal, state, and local authorities to tackle the ongoing issue of gun violence in schools. In Winder, the community has rallied together in mourning. Memorial services have been held to honor the victims, drawing hundreds of people who came to pay their respects. Vigils, prayer services, and moments of silence have offered the community a chance to grieve and begin the long road to healing. However, the political debate over gun control continues to divide the nation. Advocates for stricter regulations argue that had the firearms in the Gray household been properly secured, this tragedy could have been avoided. Opponents of gun control counter that the focus should be on mental health, tackling the deeper issues that drive young people to commit such heinous acts. In the days following the massacre, Apalachee High School canceled all sporting events, replacing them with prayer vigils. Flowers, candles, and handwritten notes now cover the school's entrance, a somber, makeshift memorial for the lives that were stolen too soon. Security protocols are being reviewed, and every precaution is being taken to ensure such a tragedy is never repeated. But the burning question on everyone's mind is, were there enough warning signs to stop Colt Gray before he struck? Could this have been prevented? Sadly, we may never have a clear answer. What we do know is that 4 innocent lives were snuffed out in a burst of senseless violence. Colt Gray's life, too, has taken a dark and irreversible turn. The impact of this event will haunt the Apalachee community for years to come, a reminder of how fragile and precious life truly is. This story isn't just about one horrifying event. It's a wake-up call for everyone. Colt Gray was only 14, yet his actions had deadly consequences. Could something have been done sooner to prevent this? Perhaps, but now we must focus on supporting the victims' families, seeking justice, and finding ways to prevent future tragedies. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Let's work together to make our communities safer and raise awareness about these pressing issues